in Johannesburg.
Well, it's just gone 20 minutes past 6. You are listening to Sabahul Muslim on Radio Islam International. Joining us now, we have SAHUK President Hafiz Muaz Kasu. Hafiz Muaz, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Maulana, and to the listeners of Radio Islam International. I trust you're all doing well today.
All good, alhamdulillah. So you had your AGM on the weekend. Before we get to the AGM, I just want to take your comment on two aspects. One is I see that ANC MP Imran Subrati, he announced that he attended the AGM. He praised SAHUK, or he acknowledged the clean audited results, but he also implored the officials to ensure a platform for greater public participation and ventilation of concerns. And he's asked SAHUK to draw on its years of goodwill with the kingdom to make every effort to seek an urgent restoration to the annual Hajj quota back to the original number of 2,500. Let's start there, Hafiz Muaz. Now that Saudi has made the decision to go the Nusuk route and SAHUK has no direct role, are you in any position to negotiate for an increase in the quota?
Mulana, yes, we have consulted with the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, and we will continue consulting on this matter with regards to the Hajj quota increase, inshallah. I think various organizations have come forward, various political parties have come forward, all in the interest of the pilgrims, wanting to contact with the ministry as well as the Saudi embassy to see how we can make it possible to restore the quota allocation of 2,500 as a minimum for South Africa. So we will continue engaging. We have been discussing this matter with the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. And inshallah, we request for the du'as of the South African Muslim public that at some point the ministry would increase our quota at least back to the normal numbers of 2,500.
So in which capacity is SAHUK engaging with the ministry about the increase in the quota? One would assume that after the decision to move to the Nusuk system, SAHUK really doesn't have a role to play in terms of the Hajj processes.
Yes, Mulana, remember we were known as the South African Hajj Affairs Office in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have received a recognition letter from the CRL Rights Commission that has been issued to the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. At this point in time, we still continue engaging with the ministry. We have had meetings with them. We continue to have meetings with them. We want to also find out from the ministry what is our role going forward with regards to Hajj and for the pilgrims of South Africa. Yes, we know that we are now on the Nusuk Hajj platform, but in terms of, from an admin perspective, in terms of a support perspective, educational perspective, we're going to be engaging the ministry to see what role, duties, and responsibility are required from us as SAHUK so that we continue serving the pilgrims of South Africa, inshallah.
So talking about MPs, right? I took your comment there about what MP Imran Subrati had to say from the ANC. Then there's MP Hasina Ismail. I see she issued a statement late last night, the summary of which is the DA is calling for a probe into SAHUK's finances after allegations of self-enrichment following South Africa's transition to the Nusuk Hajj Direct platform. I'll get to the other aspects of her statement in a bit. What's your response to this, that she wants a probe into allegations of self-enrichment?
I think we welcome any investigation, any probe from any political party or any individual. We've got nothing to hide. Our financials are available on the website. It's always been on our website. One needs to understand we are a voluntary-based organization. All the board members as well as the general council members, alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are volunteers. We don't earn a salary from the South African Hajj Umrah Council. I think the key thing is we've now passed on this message to our legal team. We are going to respond to the Democratic Alliance in terms of lies, allegations, and defamation. I think it is a serious statement for them to put out without verification or without consulting with SAHUK on this matter. And I think this is a very, very serious issue being raised in the public domain. So yes, we are taking legal advice at this point in time. And inshallah, over the next few days or weeks, we will encounter with regards to the DA matter.
You spoke earlier on about the CRL recognizing SAHUK, right? So I see that Hasina Ismail from the DA said that they have now written, firstly, to the Department of Social Development to investigate SAHUK as an NPO, and secondly, to DERCO and the CRL Rights Commission to withdraw all recognition of SAHUK, and that to make a demand basically that SAHUK now shut shop.
Yes, we have seen the comment, Maulana. At this point in time, we have the recognition letter. We are consulting with the CRL Rights Commission to engage them on these allegations from the DA. One needs to understand, like I said earlier on, even if somebody is to retract a mandate, nothing stops an organization like SAHUK, which is a voluntary-based organization, to continue serving the pilgrims of South Africa in the best interest of the pilgrims. I mean, if we were a paid organization, you could understand it's different. But being a voluntary structure, all the members being voluntary, I mean, nothing can stop you from continue serving the guests of Allah.
So, on that point of his Moaz, right? I see that you issued a statement after your AGM saying, in terms of any refunds that may be due, SAHUK is taking that under review, because from the time of the announcement that the Hajj system would be now nusuk based, there have been those who have called for SAHUK to refund registration fees and accreditation fees, and also to return assets, cash and otherwise, to the community. So, based on what you've just said, that even if the CRL and DERCO were to withdraw recognition, there's nothing that stops you from existing as a voluntary-based organization. The argument seems to be that you're sitting with monies that were collected for a particular purpose, and that was for you to serve the function that you were serving until this recent decision. And now that you can no longer serve that particular function, you should be returning all of the assets back to the community.
Yes, Malana, we have discussed this in length at our General Council meeting on Saturday. We have appointed few ulamas from within our structure to consult with the ulama bodies and the senior ulama within South Africa with regards to the non-refundable registration fee. Remember, there's two fees that we receive from the pilgrims. One is the non-refundable registration fee, which started off from 100 Rand to a maximum of 300 Rand, excluding VAT, which is a once-off payment. Then you have an accreditation fee. Now, the only time a person pays an accreditation fee is when he or she gets accredited from SAHUK. That amount is not refundable. That amount is refundable, Maaf. But to date, we've only got the funds of those who have paid the registration fee. If any pilgrim has paid an accreditation fee and that money has not been refunded to them, yes, they can contact us. We will transfer the money for any accreditation fees that have not been refunded. With regards to the non-refundable registration fee, the ulama will consult. They will revert back to the council, inshallah, and then a decision will be taken as to the way forward.
In terms of the assets, you're sitting with a fair amount of cash reserves, millions of rands. You have previously explained why you held those reserves when you were playing a particular function. You've obviously got property, etc. I suppose you can't dispense of it overnight. That is understandable. But the critics and the skeptics are saying that why doesn't SAHUK accept the reality? It's now a nusuk-based system. There isn't really a necessary role for SAHUK. Why is SAHUK trying to force a continued existence? Why not just immediately start up a wind-up process and return those assets back to the Muslim community?
Yes, Malana. So we have discussed this in length as well on the weekend. And like I mentioned previously, being a voluntary structure, yes, we have assets. We cannot just, for example, we've got one property. You can't just put it on the market tomorrow morning and sell it. You've got employees. We've got 6 office staff, of which 2 or 3 of them are breadwinners of their families. You can't just sell them tomorrow morning. We are now closing shop. While we transition into the nusuk phase, decisions will be taken of exactly what is going to happen with SAHUK. We are engaging with the CRL Commission, various other stakeholders, the ministry as well, and we will take the decision accordingly once the ulama comes back to us on a non-refundable registration fee, and we've got a committee that's going to look at the way forward as a roadmap for SAHUK. So right now we are continuing to assist the pilgrims. We know it's a transition phase. There's a lot of people that have anxiety. They're not too sure what to do, how this is going to affect them. There's a lot of people that are still not aware that they have to register on nusuk. So we are going to be there to support them. We are going to be there to help them transition. And inshallah, as we progress, decisions will be taken by SAHUK. But to take a decision after 1 week of an announcement going into nusuk, I think it's premature. And this is what the entire council have agreed. And the ulama as well that were part of the council have agreed. So we will look into it. And as we progress, as we go forward during this transition, various decisions will be taken. But right now, it is too early just to say, let's just forego all your assets. Let's sell everything. Even if you were to sell a house, I mean, people should ask the question, when you try and sell your house, does it get sold within a week, within a month? No, sometimes it could take months before it gets sold. So we need to understand what assets do SAHUs have. People need to read the financial statements. It's published on the website. Go and see it. For example, we have our system, registration, accreditation, ticketing system, application system. That system, who do you sell it to? You can't sell it to somebody else in South Africa. You can only sell it to another Hajj Affairs office that was like SAHUK. So that asset is not something you can sell tomorrow morning on the market. So those are things we are engaging, and we're going to have to engage with other Hajj Affairs office to see if they have appetite to procure such a system from us. So those discussions are still going to unfold. And I think in this last week, for us to make irrational decisions is premature.
On the aspect of guidance that you are to offer to Hujjaj, one of the questions that has arisen is that the travel operators have already said they will be offering that guidance and assistance in terms of how to manage the Nusuk system platform, together with entities from Saudi, some of whom are already coming into the country. So is there really a need now for SAHUK, even in this transition phase, to be giving any guidance to the Hujjaj? Because the agents could argue that they're going to do that anyway.
Mulana, the beauty part of Nusuk is anyone who can become a guide. Even yourself, Radio Islam, the ulama bodies, anyone can become a guide. And like I said earlier on, we are volunteers. Nothing can stop anybody as a volunteer from serving the guests of Allah. So any citizen in South Africa can volunteer his or her services to assist the pilgrims. And we applaud the operators for helping the pilgrims out there. But there's a lot of inquiries that have come in. There's been a lot of visits in our offices from Hajis saying, please help us. We need to register for Hajj. So we're not going to close our door. We're not going to stop assisting them. And even individuals within SAHUK in their own capacity are helping pilgrims at their homes, at their businesses. So I think it is something that people should not be afraid if others are helping. We are a Muslim ummah. We are one ummah. We should help each other. And don't be afraid if others are helping. And we are getting paid to help. So I think people shouldn't fear if SAHUK is helping. You should applaud each other for helping one another, because who's going to benefit? The Muslims of South Africa are going to benefit. People need to put themselves in the shoes of the Haji right now. Stop focusing on yourselves. Look at the anxiety, the stress. We've got 66,000 first-time pilgrims in the queue. What's going to happen to them? A lot of them are not sure what to do. You're looking at senior citizens that don't know what to do. I have a friend, Molana, a very, very close friend. He's been watching all these announcements, but last week he was not aware he has to now register on Nusuk. Now, there's a lot of people like this that are not too sure what is the way forward. And by keeping our offices open, we can help them, inshallah.
Lastly, we interviewed the Deputy Minister of Social Development a couple of days ago, and he mentioned that as per his information, SAHUK wants to register on the Nusuk platform. In other words, SAHUK wants to be a player. Is that something that you're considering? Is SAHUK considering the option now of quote unquote becoming a travel agent and then taking Hujjaj via the Nusuk platform for Hajj?
At this point in time, no decision has been taken by the General Council whether SAHUK will become a guide. Remember, to become a guide, you don't need to be a travel operator. Any individual in his or her own capacity can become a guide. But right now, as I speak to you today, we had our General Council meeting on Saturday. We had our AGM on Sunday. No decision has been taken whether SAHUK will, or SAHUK individuals or member organizations from within SAHUK would want to become a guide. I can't speak on behalf of organizations that are members of SAHUK. For example, ABC organization is a member of SAHUK. If he or she wants to become a guide, I can't stop them. I mean, that's their own decision as an organization. But as SAHUK, we have not taken the decision. We may take the decision in the future that we want to become guides, but we will take that one day at a time. And inshallah, as we progress, we will make the necessary announcements.
Hafiz Maaz Kastu, shukran for your time.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll unpack some of what Hafiz